Hi Floss Tube, this is Julie with Reflections Framing and Stitching. Today is July the 6th. It's a Saturday and I am back for my 32nd Floss Tube video. Today we're going to talk about my StitchCon experience. I'm going to tell you all about it, all my thoughts and feelings. I'm going to be completely honest, and I have very little stitching to show you. It has not been a good stitching week since I got home. I'm going to show you my goodies, and we'll go from there. I'm not at work. I took vacation. We were supposed to go up to the Sandhills of Nebraska. Due to some family problems, we had to cancel our vacation, but I still took the days off. So I'm actually in the guest bedroom because the lighting today has been really bad. And I thought maybe it would be better because the windows are right in front of me. So I thought maybe that would help. I hope so anyway. The bedroom is black in case you can't tell, and I'm not quite sure if that will affect anything or not, but I hope not. So let's hop right to it. StitchCon, 400, almost 400 people. It was an experience. I'm not gonna lie. When I heard there were going to be 400 or potentially 400 people there, I was very nervous. That's a lot of people in one place, and a little intimidating, overwhelming, but I decided to go for it, and well, it was, simply put, amazing. It did not feel like there was 400 people in there. It sounded kind of like there was 400 people in there, but it did not look like there were 400 people in the room. It was a large room. The tables were comfortably set apart from each other, so you didn't feel like you were really hemmed in. There were 7 people at a table this year instead of 8, which helped. There's still round tables. There still just doesn't seem to be any place to put your stuff, but in the big picture, that really probably didn't matter because I don't know about the rest of the people out there, but I got very little stitching done, and what I did get done I have to rip out. So I think probably it's just best not to bring any stitching to StitchCon because you're not going to get anything done anyway. I haven't watched any Floss Tube videos, so I don't know what other people are saying. It's on my list to do for this weekend. Don't know if it'll get done or not. We've got company coming in from out of town, so if I get some watched, I get some watched, and if I don't, it'll keep. Okay, so the trip was great. Kathleen from Kathleen's Trodden Trails and I, we went together. She drove, and it's about a 10.5, 11-hour drive, and I think we literally talked the entire time. Very few moments of silence, and we were trying to solve all the problems of the world. We didn't get it done, but we tried. So the drive was uneventful. We got there without a problem. We didn't get lost. We got there about 6 o'clock in the evening, and then I checked into my hotel. I was staying at the Hyatt. Kathleen, for the first night, was staying at the La Quinta. So I checked in so that I had some little gifts for people, and they had waxers in them, and I didn't want the waxers to melt. So I checked in and put that in my room, but just left the rest of my stuff in the car. And then we went out for dinner with Nicole the Buckeye Stitcher and Pam. yeah, Pam from Stitching Between the Lines. I don't know why I was drawing a blank. I could see her sitting right here, but couldn't bring the name to mind. So we went out to an Italian place for dinner, had a good dinner, and back to the room, got everything hauled upstairs. I purchased one of those big utility wagons. I just thought it might be easier than trying to make 400 trips. I had a lot of heavy things, a big bin full of swap table stuff, so it folds up really nice and neat. I got that out, we loaded it up, got everything up in one load with some help. Got checked into the room. It was air conditioned this year, which was nice. And I called my friend Sherry, who was meeting me there, and she came down to my room, and we sat and visited for a couple hours, and then went to bed. The next morning, we got up, went to breakfast, and then we sat and stitched in the breakfast area for a couple of hours before it was time to go stand in line to get into StitchCon. And from then on, the excitement was, the energy was incredible. Everybody was talking and visiting and waving at people, and it was very high energy, very exciting. You kind of got caught up in all that excitement. Checking in to StitchCon even though there was a lot of people, it didn't seem to take that long. Got to my table. Kathleen and Pam were already, they were in the line ahead of Sherry and I. So they already got to the table, sent us a text, told us where to go. Got to our table, got set up, and just kind of took it all in. And there was a lot to take in. The people were amazing. The stitching was amazing. I did my best to talk to as many people as I could. I did not get all the way around the room, but I didn't think I probably would. So I'm sorry if I didn't get to talk to you. Hopefully, next year I'll hit some more people that I didn't talk to this year, but met some amazing stitchers and had an awesome time. So those of you who are thinking 400 people is too many, it really wasn't bad. So put your name on the wait list. You never know if you'll get in or not. So I know a lot of people were on the wait list that did get to come, so you never know unless you actually put your name on there. To the best of my knowledge, everyone at my table is planning to attend next year. So, well, Nicole, naturally, she's going to attend because she's right there. Pam from Stitching Between the Lines said she was coming. Penny McCabe doesn't make Floss Tube videos, but she comments on a lot of things on Facebook and Instagram, and she said she was planning, and Sherry's coming, and Kathleen's gonna hopefully try to come. So we're planning to go back, which should tell you that it was good. It was amazing. There's just not enough adjectives to tell you about it. I received everyone got their StitchCon bag, and inside that was a few things. Let's see. Yeah, this is the pile. So there's a little pin cushion in the shape of Ohio, and the heart. The heart right here is showing where Cincinnati is. So it's a little ornament pin cushion, whichever you want to do. There's the heart. I've tried to keep all my stuff together, but it's been a week. I don't know. I'm probably going to miss some things. I apologize if I do. It's been a week. We all got a StitchCon notebook for making notes and such. Mine is blank because I was too busy talking, so no notes were made. We got a packet with different charts from different designers. Let's see. One from Teresa Vanette of Shakespeare's Peddler, Cecilia Turner from Heart and Hand, Barefoot Needle Art, Kanicki's, one from me, Luminous Fiber Arts, Misty Purcell, Pedal Pusher, Barbara Tingley, and Works by ABC, which we all know is Arlene Cohen. And then there was the StitchCon design. So that was nice. This chart from Raise the Roof was also in there. As long as I mentioned there was a pattern by me in that, I'll just show you what it looks like when it's stitched up. It's Mrs. Claus's Bootie. I think 2 years ago I did a design not for StitchCon, but I did Witch's Bootie design, so apparently I'm thinking about having a bootie series. I think it turned out cute. I love the little trim. See how it sticks out? I'm gonna warn you now, it's a pain in the butt to work with. So do that last, and once it's on there, just leave it alone, because it has a tendency to just keep falling apart. But it gave me the look I wanted. I could have tried using Whisper, but I didn't think it would give me the thickness and fullness that I think Mrs. Claus would like on her boot. So that was my design. Let's see. I got some gifts from people. I think this one is from Pam, and it's got some orts on it, which is what I used it for, because you can lay your little snippets on here, or you can use it. This is a cork side, so you can put your cup on that. Can you see that? No, the glare, but there it is. Needle minder, and then it has some counting pins in it right here. Pretty fabric, purple and brown. So, thank you, Pam. Let's see. Marlene from Stitching by the Lake, she was at my table too. What a pleasure that woman is. She is so sweet. I sat by her last year, but as we all know, last year was not a good year. Her brother was sick, and she just wasn't in the best of places when she was at StitchCon. So this year was much better, and I really enjoyed getting to talk to her a lot. But she gave us these little tiny, with a lid, boxes, and there was a needle threader in it, and I got a skein of $4.98. I don't know if everyone got $4.98 or that was just the color I received. We got a little pair of scissors, which I haven't quite figured out yet. Yeah, there we go. Aren't those cute? Great for travel because they fold up nice. Just like that. A needle minder that says "Oh So Happy." And then it's got a little button back. And a floss ring. I haven't seen this kind of floss ring before. So this one is new to me. But it just unscrews, I'm assuming. And then you put your floss on it and you're good to go. So Marlene, thank you very much. That was very sweet of you. I am unclear as to whether this needle came in there or not. But if it did, thank you. Oh, someone's earring. So that was from Marlene. And then Kathleen, she made this little needle book, embroidered my initial on it. It's beautiful fabric. I love that fabric. And then the lace in this is gorgeous. Look at that lace. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? And then tucked in was a pair of scissors, which I happen to not own, so now I need to make a fob to go with that. I do like my scissors, and I buy a lot of them. So that's really nice. She put a lot of work into that, and I appreciate it. And she also gave me a thread keep. I don't know that I'll use it as a thread keep. I think I'll just stand it and put it in a display with maybe a little Christmas stitched pillow or something. It's too nice to be stuck in a bag somewhere. So thank you, Kathleen. I appreciate it. What else? Lynette from Homesteading on the Home Front made a fob with my initial. Look at that. Those pretty beads. Isn't that pretty? Thank you, Lynette. Lorraine from Rags to Stitches, USA. I didn't see her bring this, but it was sitting at my place when I got back after one of my jaunts. And, but she's got it written on the back, so I know who it was from. Thank you. Katie Clark, the Nap Time Stitcher. Little stickers. Stephanie from Lindy Stitches handed out a postcard with this chart on it. It's very cute, Stephanie. I got a couple cards, one from Jen Upton and Jan Calvert, So Finished. And then I apologize. I do not remember who this was from. It's a little project tag and some floss away bags. And I can't remember who it was from, but whoever you are, thank you. I apologize. This is my bad. I feel horrible about not remembering. I can see your table. The name escapes me. I'm sorry. And then in one of the giveaways, I won this bag. Eat, Sleep, Stitch, Repeat. It's a nice heavy-duty canvas bag. Has an opening here that you can do that with. And then a zipper pocket in here. And inside this bag, I got a bunch of the Fat Quarter Shop It's So Emma charts. That glare from the window, I'm sorry. It's either that or you wouldn't be able to see. That one's really cute. And then the new stitch cards. So that was fun to win. I never win anything, so winning was a total and complete surprise. And I enjoyed it. So that is everything that excuse me, I'm going to scooch back just a little bit. Everything that I got at StitchCon. What else do I want to say about it? In case you didn't know, they changed the dates. So check out the StitchCon website, because that'll have the new dates on it. Hopefully that won't be a problem for anybody. Saturday, my daughter Amy and her fiance Emily came to Cincinnati. They live about 45 minutes away, so they came into Cincinnati and brought, I had been told I needed to try Grader's ice cream, and even though it's not on my diet, I decided that I had been good Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, so I had them bring me some Grader's ice cream, and they brought their new puppy Louie to meet me. Just fuzz. Thought it was a spider. They brought, King Louie to meet me. He was such a sweet puppy. And they're training him so well, and I'm so jealous because poor Remy knows nothing. Dan has taught her nothing. And I keep thinking if I take over and start teaching her, she's going to start bonding to me more than him, and he really, so I'm hoping he'll sign her up for puppy class, because that's what Amy and Emily are doing, and it seems to be working well for them. So hopefully he will do that and get Remy. It has not been a good dog couple of days for us. Abby dropped Lola off on Wednesday because Travis's birthday is on the 4th, and they always go up to, somewhere in Minnesota to go fishing for his birthday. So she dropped Lola off, and I noticed that Lola was not playing, and Lola was not eating. And I thought at first that maybe it was because Lola doesn't like Remy. So I didn't think a whole lot about it until it was still going on yesterday, and I could kind of hear when she swallowed, something didn't sound right. It sounded kind of goopy. And then when Dan noticed the same thing, I thought, it's going into the weekend, and I knew the vet wasn't open today, so I called and asked if they could squeeze her in. When Lola doesn't play, something's wrong, because that dog will chase her frisbee as many times as you are willing to throw it. 8 hours a day, 12 hours a day. You throw it, she will go get it, and she was not interested in her frisbee at all. So I knew something was wrong. So I took her in, and he checked her over. Dr. Teal checked her over, and he didn't see anything at first. And then I happened to mention that when she swallowed, it was kind of strange sounding. And so he took a look in her mouth again, and he said, "Oh, okay, I see it." So there was something sharp stuck between two of her teeth, a little piece of bone or plastic maybe. He said it had been there for a while, so I imagine it was probably there when Abby dropped her off. And it had kind of lacerated her tongue, so she was in a little bit of pain, and naturally she wouldn't want to play because every time she'd move her mouth it would cut her tongue some more. So they had to sedate her in order to get that out. So that was trip 1 to the vet. Then when I got home, Rags had gotten into one of my stitching bags that I had at StitchCon, and I'd had one of my protein bars in there, and she ate the protein bar. Not the stitching, thank God, but she did eat the protein bar, and I knew that last night was going to be ugly because her stomach just doesn't allow for that. She can tolerate her food, and that's about it. So I knew last night was going to be bad, and it was. We were up half the night. If we weren't vomiting, we were having diarrhea. So that was fun. And then last night after we went to bed, Remy usually comes up and snuggles with me for a little while before Dan comes to get her. And then they go downstairs and they play for another hour or two. Well, she was on the bed last night, and I don't know, something scared her or whatever it was, but she jumped and missed the edge of the bed and fell onto the floor, and then wasn't walking on one of her legs. And I was hoping that it was just a, traumatic thing, and she'd get up this morning and everything would be fine, but she was still limping this morning and not putting weight on it, and it just, when she did, she just kind of collapsed. So I knew that the vet wasn't open today, but I do have the number of the vet tech that works there, so I sent her a text and just kind of described what was going on and asked, was this something that could wait until Monday, or should I take her to the Emergicare vet, And she said she was actually going to be at the office, and I could just bring her in this morning and she'd just check her out. Well, then the vet happened to be there at the same time, so he looked at her, and he doesn't think she did anything serious to it, but just said to keep her quiet for this weekend, which you try and keep a puppy quiet. It's not working so well. So we'll see. So it has not been a good dog couple of days at all. That kind of got off topic. I'm still going back to StitchCon. So not much stitching was accomplished, and what I did stitch I have to tear out, with one exception. I worked on Leah Posies, and I worked on that little piece right there. And that's what it looks like stitched up right there. And that is the one and only thing that I do not have to rip out. I worked on maybe 5 or 6 different projects. 5 or 6 stitches maybe in each project. So I don't have a ton to rip out, but I do have stuff to rip out. One of the things that I wanted to StitchCon start, which I think a lot of people wanted to start something at StitchCon. So the piece I decided I really wanted to start was First Winds of Autumn from Blackbird Designs, that the Oh So Kind Stitching Tina, I think that's what it is, Stitching Tina. That's her handle on Instagram. She posted her finish of this. This was a club piece, and she had posted her finish of this, and I commented and said I couldn't wait to stitch this. I couldn't wait for it to come out, and she very kindly offered to send it to me. So that's what I wanted for my start, and I did start it. I don't know which direction this goes. I think it goes this way. That's my start. Right there. And the reason I stopped is because this is 36 count fabric. And I just don't know if I can do it on 36 count. The coverage just isn't quite... It looks okay when I don't have my glasses on. When I've got my glasses on, I really don't like how it looks. So I may start it over again on 40 count. I haven't decided. I don't know. But anyway, thank you again, Tina. I am going to love this once I figure out what I'm doing with it. And I can't wait. So that was the other thing I could show you, because I didn't make a mistake on that one. The rest of them, there really isn't anything to see because I didn't get very far. But I do have a piece that I finished before I left for StitchCon. I have a customer and friend named Mary, and I had kind of sort of challenged Mary to stitch on 46 count. I made her start on 40 count a while ago, and then I kind of challenged her to try 46 because why not? And she said, well, just go ahead and kit up a project for me and send it to me, and I'll see if I can stitch on it. So I figured, since I was challenging her to go out of her box, that I would go out of mine a little bit and try 56 count. Now I've done 5260 and I did not care for that. But Jean Lee from the attic assures me that the 56 count was really nice to stitch on and easy to see. So I thought, I had it in the shop. In order to talk knowledgeably about it, I should probably go ahead and give it a try. And maybe it would work and maybe it wouldn't. So I kitted the same project up for myself. And the thing with the 56 count is you really can't use your regular DMC or your overdyed flosses because the holes are really tiny. So you need to use something that's a little bit thinner. I know a lot of people use the 103, I think is what they call it. Vicki Clayton has an ultra fine silk that she had right before she quit dyeing a floss, and that would work. I just pulled Carrie's from my stash, Carrie's silk, and just kind of pulled colors that I thought looked similar to the chart, and didn't have a problem with most of it. What I didn't realize when I chose the chart that I chose was that there was some over one in it, and that was not good. That was not good. that was not good at all. That was a real boner. I managed to do it. I dug through and found some of that ultrafine thread from Vicki Clayton and managed to do, and I did full crosses, not a tent stitch, and it turned out really well once I put it in, ripped it out, and then put it back in correctly. So I would say I had no problem with the 56 count, with the exception of that over one, and that was probably not a good thing to do. And I heard from Mary that she was not very appreciative of that little portion, but she did enjoy working on the 46 count, and she thinks she might need to do something a little bit bigger on it at some point. So without rambling on anymore, this is Berry Bird from Scarlet House, and it's on the 56 count cream, I think is what it's called. I don't think it's ivory, I think it's cream. And I did it knowing I wanted to put it in this box, because I've had this box for a long time and wanted to do something in it. So, and there, this little berry right there, that's the over one, using a full cross. So I say it wasn't bad to work on at all, and you should probably give it a try because it was kind of fun, and it makes things so teeny tiny. So give it a try. I challenge all of you. Only don't pick something with over one. I don't challenge you to do that. I just challenge you to try something on the 56 count, because you can do it. If you can do 40, you can do the 56. It really wasn't difficult at all. So that's everything I have to show you. I know this isn't going to be real long. A quick life update, and then I'll probably switch back to StitchCon, or maybe I'll just continue with StitchCon and then do the life update. I don't know. I'm kind of all over the place. I've been kind of all over the place since last week. I had asked you before for prayers for my nephew Ben. He did get a positive test result, so he does have autoimmune encephalitis. We did eventually get, and by we I mean my sister, because of course it's her kid, but they did get insurance to pre-approve treatment. He was going to have to go into the hospital for it. The neurologist had a certain protocol that has the best results that she wanted to follow. And when she called Melanie, she said, pack his bag as soon as we get pre-approval. He's going in the hospital. And that was, I think, the day that we left for StitchCon. And so I got reports from Melanie throughout the weekend. They admitted him to the hospital on Thursday and started the infusions of the massive doses of prednisone. And we thought things were going to be fine. He seemed to be handling it well. The partner of the neurologist that they were seeing came in on Thursday, and the first words out of her mouth was, "If this was my patient, I wouldn't be treating him." And she proceeded to put that in her notes, and then she changed the protocol. Insurance got that information and kicked them out of the hospital on Sunday, even though his neurologist did not write that order. It was purely based on what this other neurologist said, who I might add has been a neurologist for all of 2 weeks. While he was in there, he had a bad reaction to the prednisone. He screamed for 2 hours before he passed out. And then they came in the room and told Melanie they'd be giving him the IgG, which now we found out he wasn't supposed to get yet. They were going to do that on Sunday in case he coded. There'd be enough people there. So that was real fun to hear too. So needless to say, I was a little bit distracted because we were getting all this information from here and that information from there, and it didn't mesh with this information, and it was very hard to concentrate, very hard to focus. So he was kicked out of the hospital on Sunday, and they were told by the housekeeping that they were being released. The doctors and nurses didn't bother to tell them that. It was housekeeping that came in and said, "Oh, you guys are supposed to be gone already." And when Melanie went and asked, they were like, "Nope, and you're out. You're done." They wouldn't give her any explanation. They wouldn't tell her anything. They did not make any of his follow-up appointments that needed to be made. They told her she would have to take care of that. Which is how we found out that this doctor changed the protocol entirely, and we're still trying to figure out how that's going to impact his recovery from this disease. If left untreated, he will be probably at some point locked up in a mental institute because it will just keep affecting his brain, and it won't be reversible. but insurance has denied any further treatment. We've got an appeal. The doctors wrote an emergency appeal, sent 48 pages of notes. They are refusing payment for the treatment that he did get. So my sister and her husband are on the hook for that. And all in all, it's just been kind of a sucky week. So I apologize if this is a little bit scattered. I was hoping I'd be in better shape by today, but apparently I'm not. Anyway, all that to say, if you wouldn't mind continuing your prayers for Ben, I would appreciate it. We need all the prayers we can get. And they also denied treatment for Kate, who also has an autoimmune deficiency, and they turned down her appeal. So anyway, now that I've brought you all down, let's pump you back up. Lots of ums today too. So StitchCon, very good experience. I plan to go again next year, life permitting. I so enjoyed seeing everyone, all the beautiful stitching. The brag table was awesome. The swap table was huge. There was, even afterwards, there was a ton of stuff left. There were a few little hiccups here and there, but nothing that would affect anyone, I think, returning. That is only their second year, and they're learning every year how to fix things. So hiccups are to be expected. I've been doing it for 10 years, and we still have a hiccup every year. There's always something that doesn't go exactly as you think it's going to go. So it was an awesome experience, and I think everyone should go and experience being in a room with 400 other stitchers, because there really is nothing like it. It's coming from an introvert. It was still an amazing experience. And on that note, I'm going to call this good. I hope everyone had had a happy and safe 4th of July. It was kind of a non-event for us, but I'm actually just glad it's over. And I will hopefully see you. They're stitching at the shop on Saturday, and I was thinking maybe it was time to do another "What are the stitchers working on?" video. So if I can get them to cooperate, we will do a video during stitching, providing it's not crazy busy. Otherwise, I have nothing else. Take care until next time. Bye-bye.